going on, ladies and gentlemen? This is Muscle, and this is another Two Line Music Hut's Entertainment Report podcast. And today we have a really special guest in the building. Listen, this man has been giving you hits for over 20 years now. He gave you hits like Virtuous Woman, Can't Hold Me Down, Never Go Where Pagans Go. And right now he has a brand new song called African Love featuring Miss Z. You know we have in the building today? We have Warrior King in the building today. What's going on, big boss?
Well, greetings and blessings, man. I'm alive and well, giving thanks. Must big up yourself, big up all the viewers. Thanks for having me. I'm ready and able and willing to hold a nice reason now. So, it's long overdue. Bless the love.
Thank you so very much. Definitely looking forward to a conversation like this with somebody like you.
Yes, you're welcome, man. It's a pleasure. Trust me.
All right. Well, on this program here, we like to take it right from the beginning and then bring it right up to now, 2021. So my first question, like always, is where did you grow up in Jamaica and what attracted you to music in the first place?
Where did I grow up in Jamaica? Well, I must say I was born in Kingston Jubilee Hospital. So I think Portmore was the first place I lived as a child, from my recollection. But I moved at the age of about 4 or 5. I moved to a parish called Clarendon in a district called Sanganetti. And I think there was where I got introduced to music, because my father had a shop. He's also a farmer, and so every now and again, sound systems will come occasionally. I know in Jamaica culture, music bringing the crowd and it's good for business. Mm-hmm. So every now and again, my father threw a dance, and kill a goat and people come and buy at the bar, and music was always around. So I grew up, I love music from then. My mother always playing the Percy Sledge, the Nat King Cole, and the various folk and them type of music, different genre than reggae, but sound system used to play what's going on in Jamaica and so forth. So I think there was where I got introduced to music, and that was in Clarendon, a district called Sanganetti. That's below Spaldings, but above Frankfield. Not sure if you're familiar with the area.
Yep, I've heard of that area there.
Yes.
Okay, and that's where it was. And then when did you decide that you heard this music and stuff? When did you decide that might be something you could get involved with?
Well, it's like a calling, when I check the history, when I look back into my life, it's like I got a calling, because when I go primary school, because I moved from the country of Clarendon, Sanganetti, and I went to Waterford, Portmore, because my mother and my father got divorced. So there was a split to the family, so my mother took us to Waterford, Waterford, So when I went to Waterford Primary, I think about the age of maybe 9 going on to 10, you used to have some music. It's just a thing with Jamaican culture. You always have a DJ, like an artist in the class or in the community. So I remember you called Raymond Brown. He used to like DJ, like keep in a session in my kitchen. Who I put it down, the one pumpkin, rice a piece of chicken, Ghana River. You remember those songs? Mm-hmm. So he used to sing, but when he must sing, I used to be the one to play beat the desk, beat the rhythm to what he was saying. So me never have music in my mind to become an artist. No time at all there. So and then from there, I think when I went to St. Anthony Technical High School, that's a school in Kingston at Spanish Town Road. Mm-hmm. That was where I used to patronize Bounty Killer. I used to patronize Bounty Killer at the time. So when I used to patronize Bounty Killer, my classmates, they used to call me Bounty Junior. But I was doing it just for fun. Mm-hmm. So my friends used to encourage me, especially at school, because nobody in the community where I live at the time knew that I wanted to become a singer. It was a school thing. So I started in music at St. Anthony Technical High School, patronizing Bounty Killer, so I got the name Bounty Junior. So that's where it all started.
Okay, and what year are we talking about here?
I talk about 1996, about 93, 1993. Come enter 7th grade at 93, 93. About 1979, 27th of July, So about at the age of 13, so, And
what was it about Bounty Killer that you liked so much that you said you even got the name Bounty Junior? What was it about him?
All right, the first thing, he was a popular artist at the time. So because he was a popular artist at the time, he resonated with all the youths at the time, right? Mm-hmm. The next thing, it was his conviction, like on interviews and so forth. I used to admire, because even though him did the gangster thing and he still balance it with the poor people government and like don't let get Mama She's Not in a Good Mood. Mama She's Not in a Good, but have the vocal like that again, them songs there, So we used to like the conviction. When he speak, him stick by him songs, so them things that used to inspire me. So that I think that was the thing I admire about Bounty Killer and still admire about him up to this day,
Yeah, it was really his personality there that
Yeah,
really.
his personality struck a chord with a lot of people, you know. And yes, trust me, it's a very like a revolutionary to me. I think if them time them they channel the energy there in a like a revolutionary spirit, it create a world power change in the world too. Yeah.
No, definitely, because back then, especially back then to this day, Bounty Killer has been my artist sense. The same thing that you're saying. When you see him on an interview, that fiery killer, when he go to a stage show, he would DJ, but when he would talk, it would be like a whole, you want to hear him talk.
Yes, man. I love Bounty Killer music, but I can prefer it when he speaks, trust me. I love his music. I love his music. Up to this day, I love his music, Especially the hardcore and the one drop with him, like, Mama, she's not in a good mood. Like this is my experience. Don't know the ghetto, book, all those songs, you know what I mean? And even the Rude Boy songs them still, because we used to imitate them too. And cause them time at school, we used to clash with other artists. So as a Bounty Killer song play, I catch it, I go to school. Because we had Turbulence used to go to school. Turbulence, right?
Okay.
So Turbulence, we used to bring him to clash with them time there, Them time, I think Turbulence, they used to call him Monkey Barber. Them time I was Bounty Jr. So that's how we start out, Yeah, that's how we start out. Loot and Fire used to go to the same school, same way. Mega Bantan, Archive. I mean, a lot of artists come from St. Anthony Technical High School. Yeah.
And this was in Waterford.
No, the school is in Kingston on Spanish Town Road, but I was living in Waterford at the time. Yes.
Got you. Okay, yeah, because that's a lot of prominent people that came from one school at that time there.
Yeah, a lot of them. And many more that I didn't even call.
Okay, so then now you're clashing at school, you're just doing whatever. What was your main purpose? What did you think you were going to do outside of being an artist?
All right. At first, my mother is a nurse, right? Was a nurse because she's retired now, right? So I grew up around the medical thing. My mother, like, she was in charge of all the health centers in Portmore. You're familiar with Portmore, right? She was in charge of all the health centers in Portmore, and sometimes people get injured, who get chopped, who get stabbed, all kind of bruises. They used to come to nurse house. That's my mother's house. So we always assist her with it when she wanted gas, she wanted some form of medicine, she wanted nigger, me I'll hand it to her. We used to go primary school. My mother used to come and vaccinate all the kids. I can give you one funny scenario, like one time when my mother come at school, nobody knew that it was my mother at the time. And you hear the kids them talking, yo, don't go to that nurse. She had a wicked one, she just dropped the needle in her hand. Some of them never met them know some mother. Because I get all of my shot them when I was home. I get them at home, Yeah, so I just so the vibes start, and so at first I wanted to become a doctor. That was my first career choice until I went to St. Anthony Technical High School. We started engineering, because I'm an engineer still, mechanical engineer. That's my thing beyond music. Metal work, welding, fixing air conditions, such, that's what I did at school. But the biology, but we couldn't angle the whole blood situation. I think that was the thing that determined me from becoming a medical doctor.
I totally hear you. Okay, so you have an engineering background also. Okay.
Yes.
So in your journey here, what came first, Rastafari or actually recording and doing music?
Doing music. All right. I was going in the Kingdom Hall, the Jehovah's Witness Church. So my mother was very strict. He is very strict up to this day, you understand? So my mother religiously every Sunday we at the Kingdom Hall, every Tuesday we at the Kingdom Hall, at Thursday we have Bible study. And so it's like every day of the week I forgot church because of our mother. So we always have that what do you call it now, religious background. We have to study the Bible. It was mandatory in that sense, you understand? So that's the music really. I started singing music, but at the time I was singing as a youth, it was just all for the fun. All for the fun, for the legend and so forth, In the beginning, it was just for the fun. We never know the purpose of words. We just sing because it made me happy, and I see it made other people happy, and people got excited when I opened my mouth. So I just did it for fun. Then, like, me always have this yearning inside of me. I want to know about the Creator. I want to know about God. But I can remember when I was going to stats, you'd have some youth name, one youth named Skilla, one named Buddy, and Paul. So them youth they ever talk about Africa, the mothers that talk about His Majesty, Marcus Garvey, and all them things, So it struck a chord inside of me. So me start refer back to the Bible, like when I say, yo, all them talk some things in the Bible, and we never really, when we do at church, we never really make much emphasis on it at the time, you know? So we start studying the Bible for myself. Like from Genesis 1 to Revelation 22. You know, so all them things now we start reading the philosophies and opinion of Marcus Garvey. We start learn about, we start studying more in history, because we start questioning things like going to high school. When I was going to high school, I was like, yeah, but I was a prefect at school. You understand what a prefect is?
Explain to me.
A prefect is like, all right, let's start from a class monitor. I was a class monitor at every class that I went to, because I was good with the academics, and because of my discipline, I was a disciplined student. So because of that, people used to put in leadership positions so you can guide the other students, even though you were the same age group. So being a prefect now, it moved from just being to the classroom to the entire school. You know, at one point they wanted me to be the head boy of stats, but because I was a DJ and it was my DJ, they said I wouldn't be a good example. So you know, those things. When I go to school, is like me leave from religious education class, and you want to get 100%, you know, in a religious education class. So yeah, I study at the Adam and Eve scenario. Yes, and what I'm saying that, you know, I used to leave from religious education class. Yeah, first I must apologize about the break, you know, to the people who are viewing the program. You know, my apologies, right? So as I was saying, when I was attending technical high school, I used to leave from religious education class, and I remember, you know, I want to score maximum scores and the tests in that class. So we were taught about through biblical teachings, you know. So and then we leave from religious education class to history class. And history, I tell you, so we evolved from Homo sapiens and apes and all them things there. And I still want to score 100, which is very contradicting. Both subjects contradict each other, you know. We start studying the dictionary, because I'm gonna say we meet some youth at stats, so we call them Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, Skilla, Bude, and Poe. Those are the first three youths we start here talk about Africa and Ethiopia, His Majesty, Marcus Garvey, Pan-Africanism and such. So it drew my curiosity. So we start dig on my own. So those are the things that start happening to me now. I start paying more attention to things, you know, not just accept everything just like that. So I start read the history books now. It contradict what the Bible teaching, and the Bible contradict what the history books are teach. And at the same time, knowing the history where African people have been through that whole ordeal of slavery and such, and reading the philosophies of Marcus Garvey and the teachers of His Majesty, you know, who is a Christian king. You know what I mean? So those are the things that led me to the path and the journey that I am on today. You know what I mean? Just for the viewers' sake, you know.
For sure, 100%.
I'm not a person who push religion on people still, you know, because I'm a respecter of everybody's faith, you know, because if you even study His Majesty's teachings, he say anybody that fight against the next man's religion is against those type of people. So if you say a Rasta man fight against the next man's religion, I don't think that's a true reflection of what His Majesty represents. So I'm not of that sort, you know. If you notice my song, I say I'll never go, the pagans go. I never say you don't go, you know. I'm talking about myself. So if you want to follow that example, give thanks, you understand? So that's how I'll end up along the way, because when we check it, the Bible talk about the line of tribe of Judah, you know. Jesus Christus or Christ, that lineage, His Majesty is from the same lineage. You know, and when you study His Majesty's speech, you know, make reference to Christ and all them things, you know. So those are the things that keep me on the path. So, you know, it's like, it reminds me of all the great traditions. So, you know, it's a restoration of the Solomonic dynasty. You know the story about the Queen of Sheba? I don't know if you ever read the Kebernicus before.
I've never read it, but I've heard bits and pieces of it.
That's Ethiopian history. It's very sacred in Ethiopia. And what I've searched about that, it was originally written on camel skin and then translated in Geese. That's the original language of Ethiopia. And then to Amharic, you know. And then through that now, the Queen of Sheba story is where Solomon was the king of Jerusalem, was the son of King David. So he was building the temple of the Most High at the time, and there was merchants from all over the world who came with different things to like gold, timber, lumber, all different things that he needed, material that he needed to make it happen, you know what I mean? So Ethiopian merchant went there, and on his visit to Jerusalem, he was very amazed and amused by the wisdom of Solomon. So he went back and tell the Queen of Ethiopia, her name is Makeda. In the Bible they say the Queen of Candy, something like that, you understand? So when she was so in love, because at the time I think the Ethiopians them at the time, according to the history, they used to worship different things like the sun, stones, different things. People have their own things, you know. But we used to say, all right, you know. But she went to Solomon, and she fell in love with his wisdom, and make an oath within herself. She make an oath with the God of Abraham, Isaac, and you know the whole story. You understand? So I think before she left to go forward to Ethiopia back to her home, Solomon is, is a lover of women, you understand? So she was very beautiful. She was a virgin queen according to the story that I've read. And the night before she went back to Ethiopia, he kept a banquet for her, like a ceremony. So he tell the chef them because he wanted to lay with her, you understand? But she wasn't about that. She was just, and she liked him, but she was a queen. She was as rich as him. So he was a rich king, but she was wealthy also. So she didn't really want anything from him. She was all about the wisdom of God and how he governed his kingdom. So she wanted to make her kingdom a better place, you know? So, and the night before she left, I said, he kept a banquet, and he tell the chef to make this food spicy. And didn't put any water on the table. He put wine and juices and them thing there, you know. So in the night, I'm sorry to draw out the story like this, but I'm just explaining, for people who don't ever read the Cabernet I read the ancient scrolls. In the night, I think they were staying in close by chambers. I think a curtain or something separated them. So the queens make a vow with Solomon and say, please, don't make a vow with me that you will never try to take me by force. And he said, no problem, make a vow with me, don't touch anything in my palace. And she laughed. You know why she laughed? I bet you couldn't tell me. Because she said, Solomon, I am wealthy as you, I have gold, myrrh, frankincense, I have all the things, so what would I want to touch in your palace? I came here for wisdom and to know about the God of Jacob, Isaac, and Abraham. You understand? So Solomon said, just make the vow. And she said, okay, no problem. So in the night, the spicy food start talk upon our taste buds. But I should mention before that the King Solomon, he put a jar, a container of water, a transparent jar that she could see that water was in it, in her close proximity where she could see it, you know. So the taste buds, she's spicy food that she want water. Water alone can quench that feeling, you understand? So as she about to take up the water now, Solomon was watching her through a corner of his eye. So she about to touch the water, he held her hand and said, why you want to break the vow that we made? You say you wasn't going to touch anything in my palace because I said I wasn't going to take you by force. And she said, but this is water. And Solomon said to her, so what is more precious than water? What is more precious than water? You understand? Life is precious. Water is precious than gold and diamond. Because you can live without diamond and gold, but you cannot live without water. No living thing, as a matter of fact. So they break the vow. She drank the water. They made love. A child came out of that union, Menelik. Menelik the first, or Dawit in Ethiopian language, you know. So that was how the Solomonic dynasty went into Ethiopia. So that is how you have His Majesty as the 225th descendant from Solomon and David. So all of them information now keep me on the journey that I am. And many more. We can talk from now till tomorrow. So I just want to make it brief. Because through a musician, I don't want to be like a religious figure to the people, but I just want to give them a brief. And you can research from there. So those are some of the things. And also, when I check the Bible, there is only one place in the entire world that you have kings in our time, which are called the titles King of Kings and Lord of Lords and Conqueror of the tribe of Judah. And that place is in Ethiopia. Mom, that place is in Ethiopia. You understand? Sorry about that. That place is in Ethiopia. So all them things there, I must keep me on the path that I am today. I never deter because the truth alone can set you free. You know what I mean? And many other things, I must study the Bible, read a lot of books about our history, not just the history of slavery, but before what Africans were before slavery. So all of them things, and I've been to all the different mansions of Rastafari, like the 12 tribe, Naya Bingi, the Orthodox Church, so all of them things is a part of the strength of my journey.
Got you.
Yes.
One thing you mentioned when I asked you about Rastafari was you said that you first started out as a Jehovah Witness. So how did you say Rastafari and your parents or your mom saying Jehovah Witness? How did that mesh together at first?
You see the song I sing, Never Go the Pagans Go? That song is a letter to my mother. A lot of people don't know that. Because of my conviction, I went through a lot of tribulation. I had to move out of the house. At times when you know, my mother never too like the Rastafari thing, so it was rough because nurse boy turned Rasta, because nurse boy should be a doctor, nurse boy should be an engineer, but that didn't happen. As a Rastafari, I start more Afrocentric, my diet changed, my whole thought process changed, you know, which we give thanks to the foundation that was set by my parents, you know, especially my mom, through being a Jehovah's Witness and stuff, because I learned the Bible through going to church and learn certain discipline. I can remember specifically that the hymn that was sung in the Jehovah's Witness church was called Warrior King. So I think the whole inspiration that they came from there. Because Fisher Kid was the one who gave me the name Warrior, you know. I must say that's the next question, the next journey still, but you know.
Yeah.
I went through tribulation, man, you know, so I write the song Never Go the Pagans Go. Cause I want to tell my mother, say, yo, mythology and illusion I'll be always burning. Corruption and confusion will be true. So it's really a letter to my mother, but it became a great song. So I express myself best through my music. So when I'm feeling, most of my songs, there's a story behind it. It's not just singing and rhyming words. That's why maybe you don't see me come out with a million songs sometimes. My songs are come out at a certain, they're divine to me. So my inspiration comes selectively, and you know, cause 20 producers give me a rhythm, out of the 20 rhythm, maybe one producer do rhythm will give me, I maybe not know the producer, but that's rhythm that I got the inspiration for. So we just move with that vibe. So that's a part of the journey also. So
Definitely.
It wasn't really an easy road, because sometimes we'd have to sleep on the house top because my mother would lock me out. We sleep from people's veranda, we have to move to country one at a time. But my mother good, you know, don't get me wrong, you know. But at the time, she never have the overstanding, and she think me I turn, in Jamaica, you know, when you turn Rasta, it's like you turn cruff. All the money she invested in my education is like go down the drain, and now look at me, you know what I mean? I never been in controversy, I never in a fight with nobody. I'm always positive in my own way. But me say I see God through the spectacle of Ethiopia. That's the main difference between I and most Western Christendom. You understand? I see God through, like how Marcus Garvey said, the white man see God through his white spectacle. Nothing is wrong with that. If the Chinese man see God through his own spectacle, nothing is wrong with that. The black man, though it may be too late, you know what I mean? We see God through the spectacle of Ethiopia. So that is what I did, and it keep me on this path today.
Big. All right. That's very interesting, because I'd never think that Never Go Where Pagans Go would actually be that personal to you, because I know, okay, it's a great song, but I never knew the whole meaning behind it and all that. That's very interesting from the beginning.
Behind every great man is a great woman, and behind every great song there's a great story. You know, so a lot of people, I never really talk about this much. You know, a lot of people don't even know the inspiration behind that song. But it's not a 8 song really, just trying to tell my mom, yeah, mom, no matter what you try to do. Like for example, one day my mother said, all right, my mother said she cooked some food for me as a ras. I said, wow.
Yeah.
I see some cabbage and thing cut up, and I said, what? Mama accept me now, but so I use my fork and go through the cabbage, I see some pork and some piece of chicken. You understand? So it's like that just drive me and say, yo, I get a reading from Calibud. The producer of the song Never Go the Pagan Go, and I just express my feelings. I never go the pagan go, I never do what they can. Rastafari give her the guidance. I never go astray from my roots and my culture. Neither would I forget my homeland, Mama Africa. We grow my Congo and separate from the vipers, from the vampires. You know, if you listen to the song, it's like a letter. And I must tell the people them now that, you see, when I was going to primary school, I think primary school, all school at the time, I used to make money from writing letters. Like, my friend used to like a girl over there, but he never know to express it. So back in the day before email and everything they come in, them used to pay me money, I'm just write a letter like I'm the person and write some, and then some of them even married today. You understand? So me have a gift for the writing when I'm really serious. When I'm settled down and focus, I'm a good writer, you know?
Words are definitely your
Psalms
thing.
And the Proverbs of Solomon, so we learn from those scripts, you know, from those manuscripts.
Definitely. Wow, that's interesting there. All right, you brought up something there quickly too. You said Frisco Kid gave you your name. How did that come up?
All right, I said before, my first name was Bunty Junior while going to school. Then it changed from Bunty Junior to Junior Kid. Then I brought in by the name of Steady Ranks. You're not a kid anymore, you're a king. Then my manager at the time, Freshfoot, he took me around Frisco Kid because he said, I want to show you that artists are normal people like you and me. So Frisco Kid is a down-to-earth youth. So you've been around him and he said, I see the talent in you, but you have to realize that artists are normal human beings like anybody else. You know, just have the gift and the talent. So being around Frisco Kid, him just start calling me warrior, and everybody start calling me warrior king, and it just happened natural. Even me not to realize, it just start up natural. So that's how I got the name. But for me, nothing happens coincidentally in life. You know, like even me doing an interview now with you, I would try the other day, about 3 times I try now, it happened for the 3rd time right now. So even when I tried it now, the rain come and all kind of thing come and it still happen. So it's like, it's a divine thing, you know, because Christ is a warrior king. You know, being a warrior king is not like somebody have a gun and shoot people, or have a cutlass or a machete or a sword and chop out. Is a word. My weapon is my words that come out of my mouth. You know, and my actions. Them thing that, you know, intelligence of you in this time, intellectual capacity of you to conquer the Eden, you understand? The intelligence and just like I'm telling you with Solomon, he used wisdom and conquer the queen, made love to and get a child. You know? So I'm telling many other scenarios where great kings use the same thing. So I'm like that, you know. I'm not because a lot of people in warrior king and they think when they say warrior king, they're going to see me with 2 guns on my waist or 2 swords and I'm going to tell a man this and I tell no. I'm not that type of person, you know what I mean? I'm a warrior and also a king, so I'm a royal person. You know, yet still I'm a fighter of truth and right through the words and the message in the music. So that's where it is, you know. Because you cannot fight Babylon system with gun and knife and everything, where they are the ones that making the bombs and the grenades and the gun. You have to use intelligence to organize the people's mind. Because from you change the thought process of people's mind, you have to change the action of people. You understand? So that's what I do to the music.
Definitely, I agree 100%. Your big breakout song came out 20 years ago, Virtuous Woman, all right? How did you even get to the studio to record that song? And was that actually your first song that you recorded also?
All right, that's what was the first official song recorded as Warrior King. Because I said, one time as Junior King, I used to be I used to in a duo. So a lot of story, a lot of history. But sometimes sit down and talk about it. I mean, I remember everything one time. Sometimes your reason, portions of it come out at a time. I used to be in a duo with a youth called Liquor Blocks now. He's persistent. But as Warrior King, that's my first official release. You know, but I'm tell you the history of that song. I'm tell you, I'm a reader of books. I'm a lover of books. I love to read books. You know? So most of my songs that come through inspiration are reading or listening a documentary or a cassette or CD or maybe YouTube nowadays. You understand? So I was reading the philosophies and opinion of Marcus Garvey. You know the philosophies and opinion of Marcus Garvey, right?
You don't see my shirt I have on right now.
Yeah, all right. See that? All right. So you know, so you were supposed to know if you wearing that shirt and you have read the philosophies and opinion of Marcus Garvey. Marcus Garvey was the one who said no real man can live without a woman. Like night to day, so it's a woman to a man. So I took that idea, that's how the song came, because at the time we wanted to get the break, we check different producers, right? And a producer with a gear rhythm. So when me get the rhythm, to be honest at first, me never like the rhythm because remember I started as a DJ. So me design game, I said to my manager at the time, I said, what kind of old time rhythm you give me start? Them time I don't know about bridge and them thing, you know. Because when I ride a bridge, that was the first bridge I ever ride in my life. As a singer, as a songwriter, you know. So when I got the rhythm, and I love me never to dig the rhythm. So in the morning, I tell you how the whole thing start. Like in the morning, every morning, we used to live at Waterford. So every morning I used to go to the Caymanas Park, you know Caymanas Track in Waterford. I used to run around the arse. So they used to trouble me and say, yo, they're faster than the arse them, because I used to I could run. I came not that fast again, but I used to run so fast. I think I was faster than the arses. So I used to race them like, you know, every morning train them with a race, train the arse them, like give them some exercise or whatever. So when I try run for the earth outskirts of the track, I try to keep up with the arse. So the man used to trouble me after a while, because I used to go there so regular. So me come check every morning, like religiously. We used to check Fresh Food, that's my farmer manager. And then we have the rhythm, and we give me a rhythm on an iBias cassette. I got that rhythm, Zion get rhythm on an iBias cassette, not even CD, because CD wasn't so popular at the time. So I listen to the rhythm and he never grab me either. But him say, you're going singer. You want first water come, wash your face. You understand what I'm saying?
For sure.
If opportunity come, you want the break, no matter whether you like it or not, you have to jump at it. So that was what happened. And as I go over, I start listening to him, Shuba come, and then the real man can come. Sometimes you read it, but sometimes I never read the book at the time, but it does come in my subconscious mind, and it does come out in the words. So that's how that song came out. You know, I practice it. I went to the producer, is Michael John and Lion Paul label. Michael Johnson, that's the name of the producer of that song. And I went to him, and he was overwhelmed with the song, and we go studio and we sing it one time. we sing it one take, one take. Engineer put on the rhythm, and then when he put on the rhythm, I sing it. Him call me back in the evening, call back my manager and say, yo, I feel like you can sing it better. Although myself and my manager at the time, we say it was perfect. So me kind of feel a little downhearted, Kind of want to break up. I said, John, no, start. Look how my voice sound good and want me to sing it again. But I said to myself, say, if this producer, because this producer produced Capitan, she looked good in her clothes and many other songs. He was a reputable producer at the time. So I say, if this, me as a no-name artist, and this producer want me re-record again, that means he must have some interest in my talent and my career. So I just brush out my shoes again, went back to Anchor Recording Studio, and the rest is history. That's how that song recorded. And a lot of things inspired that song, like I must say the philosophies and opinion of Marcus Garvey. Reading the Bible, they place all the blame on woman, because me watch a story for myself. I'm going to say, if a man give you a gun, muscle, right? If me give you a gun, and I say, shoot Tom, and you go shoot Tom, who you going to blame?
I should blame myself, but I'll probably blame you.
All right. So that's how the whole concept of the song come. Because according to the story, it's a story where when we read the scripture and the Bible, we not just read it based upon just take it just like it. I see the lessons that I can learn from the stories in the Bible. So the different lessons. So that lets me that say, no, you couldn't blame the woman for all the wrongs of the world, because both of them were told not to do this and not to do that. So if somebody tell me and Muscle say, don't do this and don't do that, and then Muscle look at me and tell me, go do that. Me, I know the right. I was told, I was given this. Both of us were given the same instructions. So I couldn't blame you for my mishap. So but they want to kind of change that concept. And because the next thing that inspired the song, on the 2nd of November 1930, I don't know if you know about the coronation of His Majesty. And you see, normally in Ethiopia, when kings are crowned, they are normally crowned, and their queens or their wives are crowned maybe a week after or 3 days after. But on this coronation, the 2nd of November, what made it more historical is that His Majesty was also crowned with his Queen Empress Menen, and she was given titles just like him, and she was anointed with oil, and she was given certain ornaments which were very sacred. So that showed the balance. His Majesty set an example that women should play equal roles in their day-to-day activities. So so that's the song come under some serious inspiration. Reading the Proverbs 31, it tell about a virtuous woman. Her price is far above. So the inspiration come from many places. There was an article also published in the Gleaner or the Observer, where Muta Baruka and Yassa Safari, I think those were the two. They were debating who was a virtuous woman. So many people think a virtuous woman is a woman that never had sex before, or never had a man before. And Muta and Yassa Safari said no. A virtuous woman can be a woman who has been in maybe more than one relationship, several relationships, because sometimes a good woman go through bad experiences. That don't make she a bad person. She go with Muscle, but Muscle intention wasn't good for her. But she loved him, so she have to move on until she find the right person. That don't tarnish her character. She held her grounds and did what she's supposed to do. That made her virtuous because of her character and her qualities. So all of this inspired the song Virtuous Woman, and that's the song that was the first song on record for Warrior King. And the first song went boom all over the world. You can imagine that a lot of artists singing songs, maybe 20 songs, 10 songs, but the first song that I put out as Warrior King was a big song. So me can tell you that just Jah Almighty have been on in my career from day one. It's not about me. If I leave me alone, that wouldn't happen, you know what I mean? So the power is greater than just I and I. So me always say to myself, say, even though my wife manage me now, and we have managers before, I always say, Jah really, the creator really my manager. Because him guide me along the way, even when I even didn't know, you know what I mean?
100% true there. When did you know that song was really taking off and getting a buzz? At what point do you know, okay, we have a big song here?
When I know it was a big song, I tell you when I know, I was going to an engineering school called NTI, National Tool and Engineering Institute. Because when that song was released, I was still going to school. So I was coming from school on a bus one day, and the song started playing. It's like the bus started rock from left to right. Everybody else sing the song. And a man in front of me sit down, and a man in front stand up. And, like you sit down in the bus like I'm sitting now. Somebody was, Jamaican bus, when it ram, it ram. And that's the seat alone. All the passage space, everything full up. So a man was in front of me. I must sing the song, yo, that I'm a brethren, I know them you there now. Then they grew up together, but me I say to myself, say, grew up together, then I me sing the song. So at that point, I realized that this song humongous. Cause the virgin I said him know the singer and I tell me him know the artist when I was the artist. So we find that very amusing and realize that people really love this song. So that's one of the first instances of me know so this song take off.
All right. And what was your next move after you put out that song there and you're buzzing, crazy buzz right now? What was your next move as an artist now?
We start work on an album with Calibud. That was the next move. We start working an album, you know, but like Never Go the Pagans Go, you know, those songs were recorded previously before. Never Go the Pagans Go. We have a song called Rough Road. I don't know if you're familiar with it. A song called Empress So Divine. Those songs were recorded before. But the reason why those songs didn't come out at the time, I can be honest to the viewers, and I never said this before on record. When at the time, Virtuous was my manager at the time, right? We started recording some songs for Calibud. So, you know, aspirations start liquid, things start get rough. Because we have a studio and sometimes we don't have no money to go back home. So sometimes we have to stay overnight in Kingston and sleep somewhere, maybe in the studio or somewhere near where we can just hold our vibes till a man. Maybe dip on a corner reason till a man, but sleep a kill with. But we never have the bus if we go home to pay the taxi fare at the time because when you touch after certain hours, bus stop runs, so you have to take taxi. We couldn't afford the taxi fare. We wanted the bus, so we have to stay out. So it's like one day we check Calibud, that is a producer for Never Go the Pagans Go. So my manager checked him at the time, that a Virtuous. And he said to him, yo, Kali, when you go put out the song with the artist, you know, because, you know, things kind of rough and the artist's mother kind of get rough on him. She don't understand the culture we do. And sometimes the artist have to bounce here or there. And sometimes, one at a time, they end up a country, the farming, and they start cut people grass. One at a time, just because I'm a faith, you know. And Calibud look at the producer at the time, manager at the time, and say, yo, manager and artist not to ask producer. When manager and artist must not ask producer when a song will come out. So Virtuous at the time was very upset. Because me young, me a little youth in my uniform. I don't understand, but him understand the business more than me. I say, yo, you can't tell me that. Me I come a Bobby Digital studio from me a little youth in a uniform. Me there on Bounty Killer, because he was an artist too before he became a manager. So me know you're busy, you can't tell me that. So him get mad and pull me on. I say, come Warrior King, man. You have talent, you have bad artist. But be honest to you, when he make that move, every faith, every confidence in him drop out. Because I say, because in my mind, I think one of them songs there, when at the studio, I bust me. I think Pagan I bust me. I think Empress So Divine I will give me the break, or Rough Road, I want them song there. So that's after that happen now. We go find Virtuous, man. Because I say, yo, it's like, I feel like hopeless. I felt hopeless. I said, Judge, I know, I'm Virtuous at the time, and I was telling her, like, he gave me confidence. I said, yo, you're a bad artist. And I know, say, if you find them song that you can find better. You know, and Admiral Tibet always tell me, I think, say, the best is yet to come. So for some reason, that always resonate on the table of my heart, you know what I mean? So I'm going to say, when Virtuous man bust now, the Pagan drop a road. So true, we do have a couple songs with him already. We're going to do the album with him. So we start work on the album. So that was the next step. And Virtuous man came out maybe 2002 on the VP Records label. So that was what happened.
Crazy. So it's almost like you had to step out to come right back in to really get the big monster song and push the career forward.
Yes, that's how it goes. And sometimes I'm going to tell you something. When we learn in life, sometimes you can't be upset because, you see, even though Calibud degree your attitude, but this is a lesson I try to teach the people who are listening now. Maybe you learn to muscle, but you look like a wise person. See, sometimes
always learning.
Some things happen to you and people might be rough at you. Do not hate them. Because at this end of the day, even though Calibud said that many of my hit songs come through Calibud Records. You understand? Many hit songs. And as a matter of fact, the foundation of Warrior King career, Calibud music really produced most of them. Most of the songs that you mentioned in the beginning. You understand? So, but if I didn't step away at the time, maybe the song Virtuous Woman would have never come. So what I try to teach is that we have to learn to forgive, because sometimes the Father works in mysterious ways. The Creator works in mysterious, the Mother of Creation works in mysterious ways. So you have to just see the lesson you're supposed to learn and just move. Don't carry the animosity, because the same door that closes on you is the same door going to open opportunities for you also. So that's a lesson. I hope somebody can learn something from it.
You get it. And especially being in the music business, you have to be very patient and understand that people are in different places in their life. So sometimes what you want isn't what they want, and what you think is going to be the best for you isn't what they think. So you have to work together and make it happen.
And look at it. I Calibud have 2 albums. We have a next album in the pipeline. So everything I'm for a reason. Sometimes frustration and stress bring out the best of you. You even know you have that ability or capability to do. So give sometimes the people that will put you through the most stress, you have to love them up and kiss them up the most. You understand? Because they bring out the best in you. You know what I mean? Remember Bob Marley saying, no, enough of the big songs of Bob Marley get a two people, you know, stress and thing like can't get me down. Them songs that come through frustration and the media in Jamaica like them want lock me off one at the time and just say them can't get me down and all kind of things. So enough songs come through, enough stress and frustration, give you great inspiration.
Mm-hmm. And you brought it up because that was the next song I was going to ask you about. Can't Get Me Down. You know what I mean? Because that was a big one. Because I think at this point here, you had the big songs, there was a break, and then you came with this next big one here. If I remember, that's how it went.
Yeah, that's how it went. You know, and that's what was on my second album, All the Faith. You know, but you ever read a book called Acts of Faith?
No, I haven't read that one yet.
It's a good read. You know, it's like a booklet you read every day. You know, it's a booklet. It's a book you read. Even up to this day, I still read. I have it in my vehicle same way. Mm-hmm. And I was reading a part of it. You know, say what you want to say. That's not my concern. And so that's how I get the idea of the song. Came into that. So that's how we said through reading, we get a lot of inspiration and listen to people like conversation. So that's something right now for my songs. Mm-hmm. You know, frustration and we come out to the big song now. As a youth, it can remember get the break when I'm a young youth, you know. You know, very young youth, you know. So you know, at the time, boy, the rough car, everybody want to record you. It's like, you know, like it just a swing, you know. Yeah. People who your friend now start see different. Them not say like Mark anymore. Them not see just like an artist. Them not say he's a human anymore. It's like every time we see the money, so enough frustration and enough things and because a man expects you to do something for him at the time and he never do it, him try lock the door upon you because he have certain power. You know, somebody just say, yo, people say what you want to say, yeah, that's not my concern. I praise the one who wears a crown, the one who sits on the throne, you know, because the Solomonic dynasty is very dear to me, you know. Mm-hmm. And that's what I represent, you know. So them songs I'm gonna say, if you sit down and tell you about every song, maybe can take half an hour, 30 minutes or more. But I'm gonna say, you know, say what you want to say. That's not my concern. So that I come from some strong inspiration.
Mm-hmm. Crazy. I like especially when there's a good story behind a song, because a lot of times you hear these songs and you don't really know. We're coming up here now. Where was the first place you actually took a plane to where, okay, Warrior King is gone and good? Where was the first place you went to and seen that the people are really receptive to what you were doing?
Trinidad was the first place I ever went. Mm-hmm. Trinidad and Tobago. I went to Trinidad. The first time I take a plane for music was in Trinidad. Mm-hmm. Trinidad. I'm a wife of Trinidadian. You know what I mean? Yeah, so the first place I went, I can remember, is Trinidad. So enough respect to the Trinidad people. It's like my virginity was broken there in terms of like music. You know, the first time I performed outside of Jamaica, the first Caribbean island was Trinidad.
That's pretty wild. To even know that full circle, your wife is from Trinidad. She's Trinity.
Yeah, for sure. I would even know that. You know, I just let me say, the Father, the Creator, the Most High, Jah, is in Peel Majesty. Just work mysteriously, you know. Mm-hmm. So sometimes nobody know what tomorrow bring. You have to just be open-minded and just follow your path. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And let the conscience be a guide and guided by divine teachings. You know, so that's what I do. You know, definitely. Good people, bad people, all different type of people. Some people go through relationship stress and. I must say, yo, I go through that. Sometimes you have to go through them things when you find the right person, you know exactly how to behave and how to be. You understand? So don't complain about nothing. Everything you go through life is for a good reason.
You understand. Somebody like you've been around, as I said, for the past 20 years. You've had a lot of highlights. One of the big highlight that you've had was when Barack, I think in 2008, Barack said you were his favorite reggae artist. And I think, what song did he say was one of his favorite reggae songs also?
Virtuous.
How did that make you feel, coming from somebody like a Barack?
I can tell you something. I was burning a spliff at the time. I was in my underpants watching it on TV. When I saw him say it drop out of my mouth and burn through my underpants and burn me little thing. It burned me thing, you know? Yeah, man. It was overwhelming, you know?
That's crazy just to hear from like a Barack of all people saying this about me.
But you know what I did? Mm-hmm. I just give praises more because, you know, great is the Most High God, you know? Mm-hmm. So I just give praises every time for all of a lot of artists in the music industry. you know, who are very great singers, even better than myself, really, you know. And for the former president of America to see me as one of his favorite artists, and one of his favorite songs is one of mine. And I also mentioned Bob Marley with that's a big. Why we don't know which word in the dictionary. We still look for the word, for the adjective to really define that feeling, you know.
No, that's big there too. And another big moment you had is, I know in Buffalo they have a day called Warrior King Day.
Yes, that's it. I think the 11th of June, you know.
How did that come up?
Well, how did that come about? I did a how did I say I did a Rebel Salute performance. I think the year before, and because a virgin named Ras Jom, a very good virgin of like family, you know. I met him there, but from that we become family, you know. Like I meet him also, and the link that's good. So I met him. He was one of the he was a journalist, he's a DJ like yourself, you know. So he lived in Buffalo. So so every year them have a Juneteenth festival. So when I perform, he approached my wife, really, you know, Leslie Ann, and he's a fan of my music from a long time. You know, but him say a lot of reggae artists don't want to come to Buffalo because sometimes the budget is not big. But me just tell myself, say, at the end of the day, it's not about the budget. We have to make ourselves known everywhere. If we spread the message, we spread the message. You know, so he invited us there, you know what I mean? And I went there, and in the middle of my performance, I sing a song called, I think, Ain't Giving Up. You know, Ain't Give, that's on my Roots Warrior label and Irish Sound International label. And in the middle of the song, me see, like, I make a gesture like, the mayor Buffalo one, but me never really pick up because me in my zone, you know. And come again and realize what was going on. So in that whole vibe, you know, it presented me with the day, Warrior King Day. So that was a blessing also. Yeah. So no praises, big up Ras Jomo, big up Empress Leslie, same way to make it possible. So that's the next great thing in my life. I really give thanks for.
Definitely, because again, as I said, you've had a lot of amazing heights, and somebody like you, you do a lot of touring. Touring, I think, is you do more touring than you actually do put out songs. So your thing is really always on the road. So in the last year of us not really being able to go anywhere, how has that made you feel, just being able to just stay in one place for an entire year? Because I know that hasn't happened in a really long time.
Well, to me, one of the best things about people complain. I'm gonna tell you again. I'm gonna say it again several times in the same discussion. Every bad thing, and for a good reason. It depends how you take it. Sometimes the best lessons come harsh, you know. Like if somebody telling you the truth, sometimes you don't want to like to hear it. But at the end of the day, if you really have a good mind and a good conscience and listen to the truth, it works wonders in your life. So even the pandemic now, being stationary in Jamaica, it give me more time to reflect. I saw link up with Crab and find this song. Maybe if I was in Jamaica, the song with Miss V, African Love, wouldn't be possible. But take time now for spend. I know you give to the public all the time, giving inspiration. You have to take time, just like a teacher. You have to go to university, go study. You have to absorb in order to give. You have to be merit in before you lead. So this time is that time I go river almost every day. I'm there river. I live in the country, so almost every day I'm there river. Spend more time with my family. You know, it give me time to reflect and check on some of the mistakes I make, or some of the experiences I have in the past, what I could do better, and maybe where you can make a little adjustment. Because sometimes you have to listen to the critics of the people, you know. You know, what Warrior King, me always sing the song, but it come with this, you know, just create opportunities, you know what I mean? So whatever bad situation comes good is how you angle it and how you deal with it, you know? So being here in Jamaica, it's kind of strange in terms of we always been on the road singing night after night after night, signing autographs, doing interviews, being with different people, which I love people because I'm a people person. I'm very friendly, you know? I'm very humble, you know? So I kind of miss being around people, but at the same time, we have to time for rejuvenate and strengthen ourselves too, you know? So it's a good thing too, you know? Yes.
Definitely. Okay, so then touring, because when you tour, would you say a lot of times you're out like more in the European side or more like Africa? That's your power base?
Well, everywhere, Europe, America, a lot on the West Coast. I've been to Japan, I've been to China, I've been to Australia, I've been all over the Caribbean, I've been to Canada, a lot of places, man. I'm gonna say the first song set a type of precedence for me. And the first song went big all over the world. So wherever the song went or the songs went, because the song came along with album, songs after songs. I have a lot of singers, but it really album projects really resonate with the audiences. So everywhere the song went, it's like somebody want me there, I went. You know what I mean? Cause I build the fan base. Cause I say to myself, I think long term. Some artists have a one song and them feel like them are the big star. I say, I have to go and build a fan base because Jamaica is like the bed. Like the Callaloo bed. When they plant the suckers, you can't compete with that. You understand? So me as an artist, I have to go out there and if you have a long-term career, I have to go out there and tour. Sometimes sacrifice for a little bit or nothing sometimes, which I don't mind because I know in the long term it will pay off. So we try to go as much place as we could. Sometimes we have to go with some with bands and rares right before the show, the day of the show. But now I have my own Roots Warrior band too. So I've been all over, trust me. America. You name it, man. I do over 9 passports already.
That's so wild. You brought it up in the conversation here. Your brand new song called African Love featuring Miss V. Okay? This is a remake of a Garnet Silk song, Mama Africa. How did you guys come up with this concept? And especially now, this is a different thing for Warrior King. This is more Afro beats kind of style. It's not the cultural style we usually get from you. How did you come up with this one here?
Well, this one, we must have enough respect to Kraba, All right. We came into Kingston. I know Kraba is like my family still, different from being a producer. So, my wife is my manager. So we came into Kingston, we link Kraba. We go link Kraba, my wife link Kraba up already. So my wife is more younger than me still. So she always say, you want you to do something different. Because if you make an impact, people know your roots. So people, if you put it on a one job, they know you're always good at that. And you always come positive, you always come clean. And at the same time, I don't want you go out into the world with controversy. Because in this time and age, we see most artists really are not really songs. You do some controversy, you do something for social media, and that make you popular even without a song. But me start out a certain way, so I want to continue that trend. I always say, I don't love to go through a career without no controversy, no fighting, no negativity, no disrespecting nobody at all. Even if somebody said something bad about me, me wouldn't waste time to write a song about them. You understand? So my Empress always says she want me on an Afrobeat rhythm. So it's like we go check Kraba and share Kraba reason about the whole thing. And Kraba say, me have something. And I say, play me here. So I play that, I say, yo, that rhythm is wicked. And true, me is a Garnet Silk fan from a long time. I love Garnet Silk. So I say, him with a female on the rhythm. So I say, you're nice a female, but we don't want somebody not a Jamaican art. We want somebody, even an African, want to get more in the African market. Africa as a Rasta man, that's where my art is. So when him give me the rhythm, I'm saying I have an artist named Miss V. I never know about her at that time. But when I go do research, I start introduce me to her. I say, wow, she's talented. So so all the rhythm is structure, me have to come with the first verse, and then the phrase that the Garnet still coming where she will sing the hook. So we changed that around, and she's the African king. So that's how the song came, magically. I did my part in Jamaica. My wife recorded my vocals, at the Roots Warrior studio. I have a studio set up at home, Roots Warrior production. So my wife recorded the vocals, and then we send our part to Kraba, and Kraba sent it to Miss V, and then Miss V did magic on the song, and African Love is what it is today. Just released today, the 9th of April. The 9th of April is the day of release, so people can get it on all digital platforms and so forth, you know what I mean?
Big song. And what I like with it, it kept the original vibe, but you could hear the 2021 Afrobeat style in it. So it didn't stray far. It just added some flavor to what existed already.
Yeah, because to be honest, I'm also, like if you're a teacher in a classroom and you come every day with the same strategy, after a while the kids might get boring. So sometimes you have to spice it up a little, but the message and the education and the knowledge remains the same. You understand? So like even as a radio presenter, you have to present. You interview artists. Sometimes you have to change it up a bit to make it more spicy and interesting for the audience. You know what I mean? So that's what I did. Cause as a person, I believe in the Most High, and I never, at no point in time, I will never sing something that is outside of what I stand for. No matter who I sing with, no matter what rhythm I go on, and no matter where I am or which company. If I'm somewhere where everybody sing about gun thing or underwoman thing, I keep my vibes. Whether people like it or not, I'm gonna be Warrior King. You know me? So on this Afrobeat thing, you know, it resonate with the youth them, especially in Africa. The Afrobeat thing is popular, so I have infused with a reggae vibe because the phrase, the piano phrase you hear it in it is Garnet still sound, so we still have the original thing on it. So it was very interesting, and it brought out greatness out of me, you know. So give thanks to Crabba Genius for this wonderful production, and big up my wife and manager also on this one.
Definitely big song there. I have a few more questions before I get you out here. When it came to thing there, you just mentioned something also. What was it like your very first time going to Africa to perform?
You know, I never performed in Africa before. I went to Gambia in 2015. I went to Gambia, but I was invited by the president. I was you know, Lucky Dube. His daughter was invited there. I was also a guest there too. So I was there for about a week or 2 weeks. I was just there, moving with the president. Like, he took me all over the place, and you know, with a security guard on me. So it's a great feeling. It reminds me of Jamaica in a sense. Can you call it Gambia, little Jamaica? So it's like Jamaica getting the fruits and look bigger, you know what I mean? And when you're going to the market, it's like, you know, remember when the movie name Black Panther? That's her name? Remember when the movie come out, everybody going to the theater and dress up in the Africa attire? When we go market, go buy vegetables, I saw everybody dressing at the market to sell. So it's just royal people, you know? It was wonderful. You know, in Gambia is really a Muslim state. But what me like about the president, he respect Christians. So he gave Christians the right to worship as they choose, and Muslim. So me like the vibes there, you know what I mean? I believe in a religious tolerance. I don't fight against no one faith. You know, I respect everyone too. You know?
That's actually good, where you have your beliefs. We could speak about it, but that doesn't mean I'm going to force it on you. You believe what you believe. I believe what I believe. You walk away, we're all happy.
Yeah, man, I want God same way, man, you know? Same God to fall the rain and make the sun shine and the breeze blow, give me light. That's the same creator we talk about. Most of us read from the same books, the Bible, same way, you know what I mean? So just people just have to have tolerance and be open-minded.
You're probably one of the best people to ask this question to. Because right now, when it comes to dancehall music, there's a narrative in Jamaica right now saying that dancehall music incites violence. You as an artist now that knows the power of what you say, you put on a record, you put it on CD, streaming, or whatever the case is, do you believe that dancehall, reggae music, or music in general incites any type of violence?
What I can say first, you see, when I read the Bible, it teaches me that life and death is in the power of the tongue. Your words can create and your words can destroy. So I don't have a problem with dancehall music, but you see, it's a choice of lyrics. A lot of artists don't want to take responsibility for their words because they say it's entertainment. But the Bible says, Psalms 87 says, singers and players of instruments are my springs are in thee. So whether they want to accept it or not, when you get the gift of being a musician or in an entertainment field, your influence is great. So if you write music, advocate promoting violence or demeaning women, somebody gonna take up your song out there and bring it to reality. You might do it for fun or do it just to make the buck, you know what I mean? So that's the problem, you know. It's not the dancehall music, the negative. I have good dancehall music too, you know. The negative music is not the only thing that contributes to the violence and crime. There's numerous things, you know, but it's one of the contributing factors. So as I said before, life and death in the power of the tongue. As a man that believes in the creator, I believe that life and death is in the power of the tongue. Whether they want to believe it or not, you know, so we have a responsibility as entertainers, as artists, and we can, because we're not a teacher in a classroom where I have 20 students or 30 students. Me sitting right now as Warrior King, and thousands of people, hundreds of people listen to me all over the world. You understand? And people are influenced by the music, you know, music. When me know about Rastafari, I know about the Bible, I know about Jah, Marcus Garvey. Me first learn them things in the music. You understand? And me say, when me listen to Bounty Killer back in the days, me am flex like a rude boy. You understand? So we end up get expelled from school because me try to portray a certain thing based upon the musical inspiration. So I do believe that it impacts and it helps to instigate crime and violence, but it's not the only factor. You have movies, you have all different type of things, you know what I mean? But as I say, I repeat, life and death are in the power of the tongue. You understand? So we have to be careful what we speak. Because what we speak can become reality and can become monsters where even become torment you in the last, you know what I mean?
You understand?
I sing a song about Virtuous, man. And I give thanks to Jah because I have found that Virtuous. I sing my reality into reality, you know what I mean? My words become reality. So me sing about a virtuous woman, Proverbs 31, and me can confidently say that I have a virtuous woman in my life. You know, so what you sing can affect you negatively or positively sometime down the road, you know, or affect people around you.
For sure, you definitely.
Look on the Vibes Cartel, my father thing. Remember when them clash, people start taking liquor and start killing one another, you know? So it influenced people. They might not be the one who they might do it for entertainment. Like how I start out still, to be honest. 1 second. They can be the one that's singing songs for fun. Because I say, as I started out, I used to sing some songs. Anything come to my mouth. But no, because I know the power of words. Me can tell you something, you know. Me can tell you something right now, Muscle. And it hurt you for the rest of your life, you know. And a man thumping at your face, you know, and maybe after 3 days or 2 days, you forget about that. But me tell you something, and for the rest of your life, you never forgive me for that. You always, even though you forgive me, but you just have me on a different level because of what I said to you. You can have me in a positive way, or you can have me in a negative way. So I just that me I say, you know, life and death is in the power of the tongue. And we have to take responsibilities. With great power come great responsibility. That's how we want to wrap up that part, you know?
You understand 100%. Last question I have for you before I get you out of here. You've had right now your great career for the past 20 years. What would you say has been the highest point in your career so far and has been the lowest point in your career so far?
Well, the highest part, you know, everything was started beautiful. You know, the first song that set the precedence. So a lot of people expect a certain level of music from Warrior King. You know, so I think that would be a great thing. And even in the middle when Obama said I was his favorite artist, so many good up and, you know, but one of the lowest point, I think, when we never have proper management structure around me. That was one of the lowest point. But the good thing about it, I'm tell you, say, I always tell myself, even though my wife managing me, I'm a manager as before, I always tell myself that the Most High is my manager, you know? So even though one time I feel like I was at the mercy of the wave, you know, when a ship without rudder is out there, like a ship without a rudderless ship is at the mercy of the waves. So the waves box you left and box you right, and you have to go everywhere. But when you have a rudder, you can more route the thing. So at one point in my career, I felt like I was like a rudderless ship. You know what I mean? But through my faith and my conviction, and because of the powers of song that I sang in the past, kept me afloat, even when I was going through some rocky times. But because of the songs that I sing, that's why I encourage every artist, make sure you sing songs with substance that can come. Every song me sing, me make sure even the new song with Crabba sing, the Crabba produce, that will last ever. Every one of my songs I last ever like Bob Marley sang them. You know, I cannot be Bob Marley, and I don't want to be Bob Marley. But what I'm going to do, I'm going to be the best of who I am, and I'm going to shine my light as bright as I can to whoever I meet and wherever I go. That's what I can do. Even though I'm not perfect, but if you correct me, if you see me up on the road, I hear me sing a song, I say, Warrior, you know, say, we feel like you got half keep on a song, they pull it down. I will listen to you. I'm not so egoistic, you know what I mean? So a wise man take it instruction, a wise woman take it instruction also.
You totally understand that. Listen, this conversation has been so great. We've learned so much. And again, get to see in the person behind the music is always so enlightening because you hear the music, yeah, that's cool. But you might not even believe what you're singing because, you know, okay, I could sing a cultural song and get a big forward, make some money and all that. But you don't believe none of that you're singing. But you could see clearly you believe in what you're saying. And you believe, as you said, words have power. And I mean, words have meaning. They matter. And somebody like you understand that.
Yeah. First time I saw my wife today, right? I saw her in a plane. We met in the sky. And I said, you're beautiful. I like you for being my wife. And look at today, she have 3 children for me. So in the beginning was what? In the beginning was the what?
The word.
Word. I use my word before we even get physical. I use my word and captivate her attention. And then she gave me her time of day. And today she's my wife. She's my manager. And she's the mother of my children. She's my best friend. So me know the power of words. Well, some people don't want to accept it, but I know. You understand?
Crazy. Is there anything you want to big up? Anything you want the people to know? Leave some contact info also so they could check out what you have coming up.
Yeah, I want to big you up first, for the opportunity. Big up Muscle. The whole team, big up all the people tuning in, all the people who've been supporting Warrior King and good music, reggae music, and good music of all genres, as a matter of fact, For social media, Instagram, it's Warrior King 9, the number 9, it's perfection. Twitter is the same thing. If you Google Warrior King, it's Warrior King and Warrior King Viva for YouTube channel. It's fairly young. So that for bear me, I'm coming from an era where we never used to use social media. So I try to catch up with the youths them now. So we need the support, right? Warrior King 9 Viva, Warrior King 9 Instagram, Warrior King 9 Twitter and Facebook, Warrior King. And for bookings, management, you contact Mrs. Dyer, Leslie and Dyer at Roots with a Z, rootswarriormusic@gmail.com. And I just want to tell the people, with everything that's going on, I know the media is bombarded with the whole pandemic and people worrying. Some people think it's the last days, all them things there, but prophecy have to fulfill. But at the same time, hold firm to your faith. Whether you're a Muslim, a Rastafari, and whatever your belief may be, this is the time to hold firm in your faith. Keep healthy, eat healthy, think healthy, drink healthy, and just try to show love to everybody you meet because people going through hell right now. You know what I mean? So if just a smile to somebody, that can change somebody's day. So keep positive, think positive, and see everybody as a brother. No matter the color of your skin, because all of us are equal in the sight of the Most High. Black, white, or yellow, we all created by the same Supreme Being. Bless the love, everyone. Thanks for having me, Muscle, and I wish you all the best. And may your food basket never go empty, and may the Most High continue to bless you. And thank you for persevering with us, because this is the third time we attempt to make it happen. But you hear the song? If you fail, you just try again. Rough road, right? And if you fail once more, you better what?
Try again.
And that's what we did. And we make it over the hill, right? Over the mountain. So give thanks, all praises to the Most High. See? Yeah,
Thank you so very much. Before I get you out of here, leave us with something before we go.
Shuba shuba, shuba shuba day, shuba shuba, shuba 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 day, shuba shuba, shuba shuba day, yeah. Now the real man can live without a woman. Like night today, he said a woman to her man. She's essential to his purpose and his mission. Good woman is a glory to her man. She never take the power, she let's make him a better man. Every great man has a virtuous woman. Woman is say you love me. You never leave me low, yeah. Never go in the wrong congregation, why? Your muscle are burn pagans, so I'll never go where the pagans go. Never do what the heathens do, cause Rastafari give it, say what you wanna say, yeah. Yo, that is not my concern. I will never lose my way, yeah. Forward me going, no time to reverse. Them can't get African queen, African ayata. Essence of beauty, rich in culture. I will never trade you for another. Greatness runs in the DNA. I got so much love for you, my darling. When I'm with you, there's nothing missing. Love your woolly hair and your chocolate skin, Mama Africa sing. Hey, bless the love. This is Warrior King. You're tuned to Muscle. This is Warrior King Rastafari.
Warrior King, thank you so very much. Let me give you outro, because that was a perfect way to end this conversation here. All right?
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
No problem. Thank you. Well, ladies and gentlemen, this is Muscle, and this has been another Two Line Music Cuts Entertainment Report podcast, and we are out.
Rastafari. Bless the love.
This podcast is brought to you by www.twolinedmusichut.com.